Hi, everyone, and welcome to our weekly live stream. Hope you're all doing great today. And yeah, the video for this week will be published a little bit later because I've almost done editing, but there were too many events in Taiwan and I had to take care of my Chinese channel first. Okay, so today I have two topics I wanted to discuss with you. Dzień dobry, cześć. Pete, so nice of you. Okay, witam bardzo serdecznie. So, there's a couple of things I wanted to discuss with you today. First is let's talk about the recent Chinese soft power propaganda game called Black Myth Wukong. And then very recent piece of news. Probably some of my viewers, probably you guys use Telegram, right? As a either to gather some news or just as means to talk to your friends and family that live in not very free countries. So we can discuss this kind of thing also. And as their CEO and the founder of the company Telegram got arrested in France, and the things that they're trying to incriminate him with, it's pretty serious. It's pretty serious, and it also, I think, can open up a discussion on freedom of speech and privacy concerns that most of the people have. Okay, and how far can the government reach out to those companies, right? And out to the independent views and independent businesses. So it's also like governmental affairs versus the independent businesses kind of relationships things. Okay, so but first let's talk about Wukong, the game that has been discussed right now pretty much everywhere in Taiwan, in the United States, like on the European internet also, and many people are talking about it. There's controversy regarding like the diversity claims on that game, but I think it was just another way for that Chinese company to actually have a better PR and a better PR campaign for them. Because right now, with all of this woke kind of stuff, if the company is being accused of being sexist and so on and so forth, I don't think, because they are using those accusations too frequently and too many times, really, without any legal base or without any evidence behind it. So I don't think that anyone cares if the company is sexist or whatever, because most of the times it's not those accusations are baseless most of the times. But that doesn't mean that you should play the game. And my concerns are not related to the company being sexist or not, but to the company's links and connections with the Chinese Communist Party. And we can also talk about gaming industry as a whole and where do Western companies that are producing games, where they go into. Because you probably know that I like games. I don't consider myself a gamer per se, but I played different games since I was like 5, 6 years old. I had Nintendo Famicom and then PS1, PS2, PS3, PS4, PS5, Nintendo Switch, and I basically play any kind of games but shooters and and online games like MMORPGs. Also, I don't play much strategy games, but I like some good Japanese RPGs, action games, Souls-like stuff, platformers, button mashing, slash 'em alls kind of things, beat 'em ups and slash 'em all, and then there's beat 'em ups, and there is a like God of War, like that kind of games, like not slashers. How are they called? Don't remember, but basically something like Devil May Cry or God of War, that kind of thing. Yeah. So I play games and I like games. Also like my Zelda games a lot. Alrighty. So because I have seen some comments on the Taiwanese internet saying, "Oh, you're not a gamer. You should not. You have. How dare you criticize in the game if you're not a gamer?" Well, I played a lot of games, probably more than many of my viewers on the Taiwanese internet. Because yeah, pretty experienced gamer here. Yeah, but I don't like making gaming content because for me it's a for me the whole gaming process, it will lose its charm if I start using it as means of my existence and as a way to earn money. Because when I play, I want to relax, and I really like survival horror games. And when you're playing those survival horror games and you have those lights here, it's not as scary anymore. So yeah, yeah, I prefer playing alone with no one interrupting me and just enjoying my time. Poland needs support from Indonesia. Oh, thank you. I think we have very similar flags, like Polish flag and Indonesian flag. It's like we're upside down versions of each other. Okay, so yeah, let's talk about Wukong. Why am I saying that Wukong is Chinese soft power propaganda? Because it is. And before the game was published, they have sent the list of do's and don'ts when they sent the game to the journalists and YouTubers making content about the game, um, including don'ts. Do's only included one part, just enjoy the game, but don'ts was pretty extensive. Don't talk about feminism, which is kind of weird. Who would like to talk about feminism and while making content about Chinese game? I don't know. And that's the first thing. Then secondly, don't use trigger words such as COVID-19 or CCP, and don't talk about China and your thoughts about China. Well, yeah, China is a country that the developers come from. The game is about China. It is based on a Chinese novel, and the whole thing is happening in China. And there's a lot of things going on related to Chinese religion, culture, traditions, and so on and so forth. Why are you not supposed to talk about China while introducing Chinese game to your audience? I don't know. This is weird. Then Siren. Siren is a Japanese game. Siren. Forbidden Siren. We're talking about that. Yeah? Siren is a Japanese game, and it's made by Team Silent, those guys who made the Silent Hill series. Yeah, yeah. Look out for CCP. Yeah, that's the first thing. Some people say, yeah, that's the governmental requirements, and we should not actually have any biased views based on that. But that's the problem, because in China, every big company um, or certain size of a company, they all have a Chinese Communist Party officials inside. They have a team which is responsible for ideological stuff, basically not to make those companies out of line, out of the party line. So first of all, China is very known for its censorship. There's a lot of things you cannot talk about in China. And the CCP has been oppressing the gaming industry for a very long time. They also are trying to apply pressure to the other countries and to the other platforms to ban Taiwanese games from being published. This is related to the company called Red Candle Games, and they made two games that are pretty famous in Taiwan. It's Devotion and Detention. And both those games, they were banned in China. And Devotion was banned from many Western publishing companies because the CCP applied pressure. And right now, all of a sudden, you have a Chinese game. You have a Chinese game that went through all of that censorship that is being promoted by the CCP party officials, including Hua Chunying, which is also being promoted by the pro-CCP Taiwanese commentators like Guo Zhenliang or Zhao Shaokang, like those people. And you still want to support that kind of game? Secondly, the money that this company earns A lot of it goes to the CCP. A lot of it goes to China. They also benefit. They also benefit from unfair competition and from. Um, oh, hi, Lewis. Free channel. My favorite channel. Hi, Lewis. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Boycott that crappy game. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Exactly. That's what I'm talking about right now. So yeah, just look. They benefit from the CCP. They earn money together with the CCP. The CCP is using this game as means for soft power propaganda, basically making everyone like China. And if you've read Journey to the West, it deviates from Journey to the West a lot. And Wukong, the Monkey King, in that game, is actually it's more like he acts more as if he was servant of the heavens and not a person that's antagonist, not a character that's antagonistic and more like a trickster figure. They made a very obedient Wukong out of out of Journey to the West. So it's also not really related to the classical novel that I think that everyone should read. It's a good novel. It's part of Chinese culture. So yeah, that's one thing. Then secondly, it's just not a good game. If you like Souls like, and if you like Souls games, if you like Souls games, that there's plenty of those. You can play Bloodborne, which has better graphics, honestly, or you can play Elden Ring, recent with very good story written together with R.R. Martin, and like the original Souls game, actually, right? And all that series, like Demon Souls, Dark Souls, they're all very good, challenging games. If you like games about Asia, you can play Ghost of Tsushima, or if you like Chinese culture and if you want to actually immerse in Chinese culture, there is Dynasty Warriors series made by a Japanese company called Tecmo. So I've also seen one comment on the internet saying that Sun Wukong, like that game, Black Myth Wukong, it's promoting Asian culture as a whole, and there is no. And right now, the gaming industry is dominated by the Western companies, which is a joke. I think right now gaming industry is dominated by the Japanese companies because I realize most of the games I play, they're Japanese, made by Japanese companies based in Japan, starting with Persona, which is like it's all Persona 4, Persona 5, it's all in Japan. Shin Megami Tensei also it's happening in Japan. Ghost of Tsushima, um, Ronin, um, Neo, Sekiro. What else? What else? Like plenty of games. Ghostwire Tokyo, and your gaming console is also from Japan, probably if it's a PS5 or Nintendo Switch. So yeah, I think it's dominated by Japan, and it's a good thing because Japanese people work very hard to promote their culture abroad. And if China just spends a lot of money to make a crappy game, and right now everybody should speak about how great China's game industry is, it's just wrong. And yeah, there is some reports saying that it's not as accessible, and we should promote more like Asian culture and so on and so forth. That's also like bullshit because Japanese culture is also Asian culture. And some people said that it's also non-accessible to Western people, but I don't know. There are so many people who are interested in Japanese history, in ninjas and samurais, in Japanese religion and Shinto, in myths and legends, and are collecting a lot of like Japanese memorabilia, a lot of like Japanese cultural things. It is not um, you cannot just make a game, pay a lot of money, and then make everyone like your country for that. That's what they want to do. Yeah, this is what they want to do with that Wukong game, and that's why they're saying that yeah, everybody should like it, and it's the best game, the first great game. No, you have to work hard. Japan worked really hard for Japanese culture to be as popular abroad, and not only in Japan. First of all, they take care about their own market, Japanese domestic market, and then they also expand and they make people like things that come from Japan. Same thing with Korea. Korea also worked for a very long time, and just spending some money on developing a game that looks good but it is boring as hell is just a I don't know. It's Dark Souls but with no depth, with no difficulty, and like level design is boring. The only thing I can say that is good about that game is like monster design. Yeah, they did a good job there, but there is no substance behind it. There are many games with very good monster designs, starting with Ninja Gaiden and any kind of Souls games, Silent Hill, Resident Evil. Like they all have great monster designs. Great monster designs, probably much better than Wukong. And if you look into something more like Japanese mythology, then Neo is great monster designs. So yeah, there is also that kind of what that company they wanted to do is a the diversity claim, which is also kind of weird because right now I know that the gaming community it's very specific and they don't like things going too even Zelda has awesome design. I agree. Yeah. Zelda games are awesome. Monster Hunter is also amazing. Yeah. Devil May Cry looks. Yeah, there are many good games. There are many good games. Talking about that diversity claim, which is also ridiculous. But it's a smart PR move, I think, if it was actually caused by that Chinese company. Because right now there are too many companies doing like very wrong decisions. For example, like with the most recent Assassin's Creed Shadows, uh a game with Japanese settings, but they want to make black person as the main character, and that this actually upset many Japanese people because that person they're basing their main character on, he was not a samurai to begin with, and he was not a key figure in Japanese history. I mean, I am 100% for having more games based on black culture, black people, African myths and legends. I really like Black Panther, like the whole movie series. It's great, it's amazing. But you guys have like Ubisoft, if you want to make something original, I think Assassin's Creed with African setting, for example, fighting with colonial government, assassins fighting with colonial governments in Africa, this would be great and the game would sell. But you shouldn't force a black character into Japanese setting. And it's historically speaking, he's an assassin, and African people are tall, and Japan was not the most tolerant and acceptive society for black people. Not to even see a black assassin. I think like, and this kind of thing, it makes some people just think, well, what's going on here, right? And here they say, oh, right now Western companies are trying to oppress the Chinese company because they say of those diversity claims that they're not substantial and not reasonable. So that I think that's a PR move from that Chinese company, but it has real connections with the CCP, and they will have. The most ridiculous thing is when I see those pro CCP Taiwanese commentators that never played any game in their lives. I will show you a short video that I made yesterday. It's on my Mandarin channel. I think it's gold. Might it like that guy Guo Zhenliang. And also let's talk about Taiwan's politics for a while. Guo Zhenliang, he used to be a DPP member, but then at around I think 2000 and like right after Chen Shui-bian, he became a pro CCP like all of a sudden, and then he left the DPP. And right now he is on each and every pro CCP, pro China TV channel, promoting everything China related and saying how much he hates the DPP. And every time they introduce him as 民进党大佬, which is interesting. That means like he is one of the top figures in the DPP. But he's not related to DPP in any way, shape, or form for at least 10 years already. Let's watch. Here, a person who never played a game in his life, I think, is talking about Wukong.
它基本上是它的游戏的特色啊。
I will translate it for you because that's very funny. Well, basically, the key characteristic of this game is let me see.
就你设定一个人，然后
You make a character
要去一个旅程嘛，
and then you go on a journey
那有各式各样的对手啦。
对
and then you have many enemies and then and then the host of the show, she says yes. Yes, correct.
你要精通不同的棍法
And you have to be very good with your stick.
的棍法。
Stick. Yeah, there was a scandal when he was singing together with a Chinese journalist.
的棍法，然后自由搭配各种法术、神通、天赋、武器、披挂。
And then you basically saying you should master all of different moves in magic
然后逐渐找出自己的战斗风格，
and find out your way of fighting.
这样。
哦，是，
因为那个各个场景，坦白讲做的非常精
And
致。
all of this and all the setting of this game, it's brilliantly made. It's very
之后
detailed.
那就真的开始站上要拼那个网游的霸主了。
So China will probably do its best to become an online game superpower. That's not an online game. That's not an online game. And you make a character. What character do you make? There is one character in this game, which is Wukong. You cannot make your own character in a game about Wukong. Yeah, I mean, like, they're desperate. Why asking this kind of person to talk about the game? There is another one who actually ran for vice president last year, Zhao Shaokang. He was together with Hou Youyi. He also made a 30-minute video saying about how great is the game. And what is interesting, these people, they never played a game like in front of the camera. So this is just so funny. This is gold. This is gold. So yep, probably go slept with her, I reckon. I don't know. I'm not accusing anyone of anything, but allegedly there was something going on between those two, you know. Yeah. They stopped playing games when Space Invaders came out. I think they were even old for Space Invaders when Space Invaders came out. I mean, I think they are in their 70s or like close to. Let me see. Let me see how old is Guo Zhenliang. Zhao Shaokang is in his 70s, that's for sure. Guo Zhenliang. Oh, his name is he's 63. Okay, he doesn't look good though for a 63-year-old. And Zhao Shaokang. And Zhao Shaokang, Zhao Shaokang is 73. Yeah. Oh, 10 years difference, but yeah, they both don't look good. So, oh yeah, they're protesting in Indonesia. Stay strong, Indonesian people. Stay strong, Indonesian people. Wish you all the best. Okay, never been to Indonesia. I really want to, actually. Really want to. I want to see Jakarta before it goes, before it goes down, because you're moving the capital. I don't know if you've moved it already or not yet, but yeah, they both look unhealthy on the television, and on TV, camera makes you look better. It usually makes you look better, especially for like people who are older, because you look a bit rounder because of the lenses they use. So yeah. Well, if anyone can support Indonesian people, just do it. Spread the word. So yeah, and because I took part in many TV shows in Taiwan, and every time I'm in Taiwan, I do. I'm usually invited to like Aramoni and 新台湾加油 like Go New Taiwan, like the very good show. Zheng knows, and so on and so forth. And yeah, it when you are on those TV shows in Taiwan, you usually notice that the camera they make you look better, and also they apply a lot of like makeup on all of the guests, so they look good. They look better than they look in real life in many cases. And Guo Zhenliang and Zhao Shaokang, because many of those commentators, they're not like young boys and girls in their 20s or 30s or even 40s. Some of them are like in 60s and 70s, and they look younger than of their age. But if on TV you look as bad, it means that something's wrong. Something's wrong. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, rigged elections. I think right now, like there is a concern about rigged elections, like in many countries, Indonesia, right? Then Venezuela, just last month, also rigged elections. I think people want to live in a free and a democratic country, like that's willing to live freely is. I think it's in our DNA. We don't want to be governed by some corrupt officials. And but those corrupt officials, it's also in their DNA. They want to stay in power for as long as they can. So yeah. So all the best to the people in Indonesia. I don't want to give any extensive commentary right now. I have to read more about it, and maybe I will make a video on my main channel, because I think my Taiwanese viewers can do more than my English audience. This channel is not big enough yet, so yeah, but I'll do my best. So yeah, don't play Wukong. Play some other games. Really, play some other games. And I had like very heated arguments with some of the Chinese, even anti-CCP people, saying that you should not mix gaming industry and politics. But everything is about politics. Everything is related to politics. And if you don't want me to talk about politics and gaming industry, then please make those CCP officials leave those gaming companies in China. Stop oppressing Taiwanese gaming manufacturers like Red Candle Games, who got their games banned not only in China, but because of Chinese pressure, got their games banned on the Western platforms as well. Game called Devotion, very good game actually. Then, if you don't want to connect politics and gaming industry, then let Hua Chunying shut up and not talk about games. Otherwise, it's all very, very politically related. It is politically related. And the CCP is pushing forward this game. It's all over the CCP Shield's channels. It's all over CGTN. It's all over Xinhua News. It's everywhere. So if you don't want to mix politics and gaming industry, then take politics out of your gaming industry. But unfortunately, when we're talking about China, everything is politics related, because your CCP officials, they are in those companies and they check if the company is politically correct or not. Okay, so this is the part where I wanted to talk about Wukong game, and I think I can talk about games. I like playing games. I'm a gamer myself, and I like Souls-like games. So yeah, I think I'm pretty much confident enough and competent enough to talk about a Souls-like game, which is basically it doesn't have the depth of the other Souls-like games. So yeah, alrighty. So next topic I wanted to discuss with you is this one. Pavel Durov, the CEO of Telegram app, got arrested at French airport. So yeah, you guys know Telegram probably, right? It's a messenger and also a platform when you have those different chat groups. And I use Telegram for actually gathering news about China and Russia and Iran and Belarus, like unfree countries. And also during the war in Ukraine, when Russia attacked Ukraine, you can find a lot of information on from both sides on Telegram. There are pro-Ukrainian groups, there are pro-Russian groups, and you can see the actual footage of warfare. which is banned on social media. Of course, you have to double check how correct is the information, how correct is everything. But yeah, it was a very good source for getting information about the war. That's one thing. Probably people in Indonesia are also using Telegram to coordinate, maybe because I know that in Venezuela they use Telegram to coordinate the protests against Maduro. So talking about the free world and fighting against dictatorship, I think Telegram has its they also contributed to that to a certain extent. So yeah, let's not forget about this thing. Then it also gives people living in those unfree countries like Belarus, like Venezuela, like Russia, to actually access some information from the free world and relatively not being controlled by the government. So that's a good thing, I think. That's a good thing. On the other hand, uh, people sell drugs on Telegram. There is CP on Telegram. I don't want my channel to be banned. That's why I'm not saying what does CP stand for. But yeah, like things that are not supposed, things that are very illegal, they're present on Telegram. Some terrorist groups are also um, coordinating their actions on Telegram. So yeah, it has its own concerns. But what France is doing right now, they arrested the CEO of Telegram and they're accusing him of CP, of supporting terrorism, of money laundering, and terror related and conspiracist, neo Nazi also, like spreading this kind of information as if he committed those crimes by himself. Because he doesn't want any government to have an access to Telegram. So, yeah, I think he's a very controversial person. That's number one. Secondly, I don't know how close are his ties with the Russian government, even though he right now is a citizen of the United Arab Emirates and France. I don't know. I think these things should be investigated. But I also don't support arresting a person, a head of the platform, just because you think that the content which is on that platform is illegal, because it's not the responsibility of a platform. It's probably the responsibility of police and the authorities to actually find out those people who spread CP or who spread terrorism related kind of content on that platform. I think that there should be a clear difference here. And secondly, if you think that this platform violates anything in your country, then ban the platform. Why arresting the guy and accusing him of those kind of things? Because I don't think that's a smart move. I don't know how winnable is how winnable is the case. For me, it looks pretty obvious that I'm not familiar with the French law, though. Maybe there is something going on there. I'm not sure. But it probably won't be too easy for a French government to win a case against him, I think. And he probably has very good lawyers. I'm more for allowing all kind of different platforms and not banning. And if you see anything criminal on the platform, you should not actually just fight against the platform, but rather fight against the people who are spreading criminal information on that platform. On the other hand, I think the biggest national security concern for France or for England or for the United States is not Telegram, it's TikTok. And a lot of illegal content is being put on TikTok by the Chinese government. And things of propaganda that they're spreading, it's more damaging than whatever you can find on Telegram. Instead of arresting that Telegram CEO, I'd better arrest Shao Chu for well, I think she should be arrested by the United States because he lied in the face of Congress people in the US. And basically, he is an asset of the Chinese Communist Party. And I think those kind of, including WeChat, why I think that WeChat should be banned, because WeChat is being used by the CCP to spy and to control the people that live outside of China. So this is the direct intervention, and this is a direct interfering into the Western countries and the free countries' freedoms, freedom of movement, freedom of speech, freedom of assembly, and so on and so forth. Chinese government just spies on you through those apps. WeChat probably is the most dangerous, and TikTok is secondly dangerous, second most dangerous, because they are gathering data on you. They have those backdoors, and Xiao Chu admitted it during his hearing in the Congress, right? Are you spying on Chinese people? Are you spying on TikTok users? He said, I wouldn't use the word spying, but what he said after that basically meant that he's spying and he has all the data of all the American users of TikTok. Secondly, he said that TikTok has no relations with the Communist Party of China, but they can share information within the companies of the group, including ByteDance in Beijing. And in Beijing, they also have Chinese Communist Party members within ByteDance. So basically, the CCP members of ByteDance can access any kind of information about American users of TikTok. So it was a very good hearing. It lasted for 4 hours, but I think it's worth listening to. It's very worth listening to. Here with the app, with Telegram, I don't know. It's a very complicated topic, and it's also related to how much can governments do um, against independent businesses, right? If they investigated him for his relations with Russia and influences by the other governments, like coercion kind of thing, I think that would be more reasonable rather than accusing him of money laundering and so on and so forth, only because he has an app which people use to conduct some illegal activities. I don't know. What do you guys think about it? I don't think it's very reasonable. But I also have my own concerns because of the background of this person, of the Pavel Durov person. But on the other hand, we should not ignore the positive impact that Telegram has on some of the totalitarian countries. And there's a lot of information that is accessible only on Telegram. When I make my videos about Ukraine and about how Ukraine is fighting back Russians, I use Telegram. I use videos from Telegram. Yeah. So and I also use it to contact like media in Eastern Europe if they have any information on what's going on. So yeah, that's a very complicated topic. It's a very complicated topic. So yeah, these are the things I wanted to talk to you about today. Don't play Wukong. It's a CCP propaganda game that's sole purpose is actually to make you like anything that is related to China and like the CCP. Yeah. If you don't want to be slave of the CCP, don't play a game about CCP, but anything about the CCP. Yeah. Thank you, Lewis. Thank you. I think we should. Let me tell you what. As my wife is not listening right now, I bought Mario Kart. I think we can stream Mario Kart one day. Yeah. Yeah, we should. Yeah, just an announcement. I will be probably streaming a little bit earlier next week. It would be either on Wednesday or on Thursday, because I'm leaving for the US on Friday. And surely wait for some US content, some content about Taiwan, some content about US elections. I will also like make street interviews also in English, asking people who are they voting for. Do they think that their candidate will be supporting Taiwan more than the other? Would it be Kamala? Would it be Trump? What do they think about geopolitics and so on and so forth? So yeah, just wait for some good content. Even though I have to tell you one thing, I will be in mostly blue states, so expect some more like pro-democrat content there. But who knows? I also hope that there will be like a political rally I can attend and film. I want to film both, like for Kamala and for Trump. I think it's very interesting. It's very interesting. Again, every time there is like elections in the US, it's always fascinating to watch, and the whole engagement of American people, and it's great. Yeah. So yeah, thank you for watching, guys, and thank you for tuning in. And yeah, let's stay in touch. Yeah, I will publish a video soon, like about little pinkies in France and in where else? In Japan. Yeah, sorry. Alrighty. So yeah, talk to you soon, guys. Cheers.